So are there any questions from anybody in the audience on the ground rules? We don't care. Okay, I like that. Again, this is a candidate forum. This is not a debate. So please keep any remarks, any clapping, any of that stuff. Please don't throw things, all of that fun stuff. And that's mostly for you, Laquita. Yes, I could tell right now where this was going. Are we good, Karen?
We're good. Just want to make sure I turn the ringer off on my phone.
Okay, yes, let's turn the ringer off on the Facebook Live feed. That would be good. So the races we're going to be covering this evening are 3 JP races for District 4, District 9, and District 11 of Union County, and State Senate District 2. Our first forum, we do have on stage tonight Mr. Steve Ward. Steve, welcome. Unfortunately, it was a miscommunication on both our committee leveled. We got the information to Gary very late, and he had already made plans, and he's out of town. He didn't even know that this was the night he was going to be going. So we apologize to Gary for not communicating very well to him, and we take full responsibility for that. So we do apologize. But we do have Steve, and we want to make sure that he is given the due amount of time. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, for JP District 4, Mr. Steve Ward. Steve, I'm going to go ahead and set my timer. We've gone over the ground rules, but you have 2 minutes for opening remarks, sir.
Good evening. I'm happy to see everyone here. I'm glad that we've had a turnout. I want to thank you, Mr. Bernanke, and South Arkansas Historical Preservation Society for making this possible and making this forum happen tonight. I'm Stephen Ward. I'm a retired small business owner. I own and manage Ward Veterinary Clinic for 40 years. I'm also an honor graduate of Texas A&M University. In my life, I have served on the following boards and offices. I've been on the board of trustees of the Arkansas Veterinary Medical Association for 12 years. I've served as vice president for the Arkansas Veterinary Medical Association. I've also been a supervising veterinarian for state government and federal government in regulatory matters, supervising other veterinarians and inspectors in disease eradication programs. I was also the chairman of the Union County Republican Committee, and I'm a lifetime member of the NRA, and I've been a lifetime member for a long time. The Second Amendment is precious to me. For 30 years, I've taught Bible classes at College Avenue Church of Christ here in town. I've also served as Justice of the Peace in the past. I've been on the Quorum Court, and I know how it operates. I want to make Union County the best place to live, a place where your children can find work and enjoy a good quality of life. And having had a small business, I understand how government can affect businesses with taxes and regulations. I support our Constitution, I support our veterans, and I stand for the Star-Spangled Banner. Thank you.
That was perfect timing. I was just about to give you the yellow light, so you already got this down. This is great. So we have questions that were submitted from folks that came through. We have a volunteer committee that is made up of Republicans, Democrats, and Independents, so completely nonpartisan. And they went through these, vetted them, and so we're going to get going right here. The first question is from someone in the crowd, and they put their name on here. Reverend Charles is asking, throughout the county, there are several roads that have potholes and or need paving. How are roads prioritized to be repaired and or redone without patchwork that doesn't last?
I'm sure that the judge would know much more about patching roads than I do, but that is one of my top priorities as a candidate and as wanting to be a court member. Our roads are very important. I own some property out in the county, and the road's not all that good, and there's a deterioration of it. And anything that I can do to promote the repair of the roads and to make that a top priority, I'll certainly do so.
Very good, thank you. Next, this is an anonymous question. How will you ensure that you will continue to remain competent in the area of the laws pertaining to the county?
Well, if you talk to any of the people that were on the quorum court when I was on there, I often quoted them Arkansas state law concerning county law and the what we could do and what we could not do, and as far as procedure in the quorum court. I studied all the brochures that they gave us. I studied all the pamphlets, and I think I was as knowledgeable as anyone on the quorum court at that time. And I always try to do the best job I can do at whatever I do try to take on, and I certainly will continue to do so if I'm elected.
Very good, thank you, sir. All right. Okay, this is another anonymous question. What are your top 3 priority issues for your county district?
My top 3 priorities are to make as good a use of the taxpayers' money as I can. I want to be frugal with it, just like I am with my own money. Road repair and maintenance of the roads, I think, is a top priority and something that we always should give our attention to. Something else is always consider what effect an ordinance will have on the citizens of the county, and be sure that it doesn't place an undue burden on our citizens, and that it's a wise piece of legislation.
Very good, thank you, sir. And lastly, that's a good question. Why are you running for this office?
I'm running for the office because I want to serve in a position in government and have a good effect on the role of government. I've always been concerned about how government affects our lives, and I want to be there to make Union County a great place to live, a place where our children can have jobs and work, and where people want to come to live. And anything that will make Union County a better place to live, I'm for it.
Very good, sir. Thank you for those answers. You now have 2 minutes in concluding remarks to your constituency.
Thank you. Today I'm very concerned about the condition of our country and the direction that it's going in. I have grandchildren, and I want them to have a good quality of life and the freedom that's described in the Declaration of Independence. As justices of the peace, we're at the ground level of service for local citizens. If elected, I'll work diligently to be a good steward of taxpayers' money. As a small business owner, I understand budgets, and I know how to remain within a budget. For 40 years as a practicing veterinarian, I was on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. As a justice of the peace, I will be available by phone or email when my constituents need me. I ask for your vote of confidence, and I thank you for this opportunity.
Very good, sir. Thank you so much. Mr. Steve Ward, JP District 4. Okay, moving on, the next race is for JP District 9, Mr. Patrick Harrell and Mr. Benny Vestal. Hello, gentlemen. So one of the, I wouldn't even call it a ground rule, what we decided to do instead of flipping coins and drawing straws is for opening remarks, we will start alphabetically. And then at the end, we will flip that. Gentlemen, I will be asking you questions and flip-flopping who answers them first. And as Mr. Ward just showed you, we have random questions. I'm just going to pull them out and read them, and hopefully this goes very well for you. So again, for JP District 9, closest to me on your left is Mr. Benny Vestal. And furthest from me to your right is Mr. Patrick Harrell. Mr. Harrell, as you start H before V, you have the first 2 minutes opening remarks, sir.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to thank you and Karen. Y'all have done a great job putting this on, and I'm excited to be here and kind of let you know who I am. My name is Patrick Harrell. I am running for Justice of the Peace for District 9, and really looking forward to it. And a little background about myself. I graduated right here in El Dorado, Arkansas, class of 1986. Just had our 35th reunion. Got to meet a lot of people there that I hadn't seen in forever. It was a really great time. I went on to Southern Arkansas University. Graduated there with 2 degrees. I have a Bachelor of Arts in History, have a Bachelor of Science in Biology. After that, had a few jobs, and I finally got locked into working with Shelter Insurance Company. I started as an insurance adjuster. I was an adjuster for 20 years before I got the opportunity to come back to El Dorado to a gentleman by the name of George Fennell. I don't know if anybody remembers George. He had an agency here in El Dorado for 45 years. Got the opportunity to take that agency over, put in, was interviewed, and was granted the opportunity to own my own business here in El Dorado, Arkansas. Take it really personal. This is not just a town of El Dorado. It's not just the county of Union to me. This is my home. And I want to sit there and do everything I can to make Union County a better place to live for not just me, but for our posterity. I want this to be a better place when I leave than what it is today. And that is where I stand at this point, and I ask for your support and your vote.
Very good. Thank you so much. Benny, 2 minutes, sir.
I'm Benny Vestal. I've been a resident of Union County for about 45 years. I'm married to a wonderful lady for 48 years. We have 2 children, and I went to school at graduated Fairview High School in Camden in '72. I went on to the University of Arkansas at Monticello and got a BS in forestry. And currently I'm retired. I worked in the forest industry for 30 years. And finally in 2006, the mill on the Junction City Highway shut down. And I had to find other work. So I started doing environmental work because of my science background, and worked for Environmental Management Service, who later Milam Construction picked me up, and I worked as an embedded employee through Milam doing sampling in the field of soil, water, and air, collecting samples. In my job in forestry, I did various duties. I was the procurement manager or the forestry manager for the GP mill. I did all kind of planning, log yard operation, quality control, land management, inventory control, budgets and standards. I managed personnel and had customer relations, and of course did administrative work. Previously, I was a registered forester by the Arkansas Board of Registered Foresters. I was a certified forester by the Society of American Foresters. I belong to the Arkansas Forestry Association. I currently have been with the Parker Chapel Water Association for 30 years, and I'm the Secretary Treasurer at the Parker Chapel Water. I served on the Parker Chapel School Board from '92 to 2002, and I had various positions as Secretary, Vice President.
Mr. Vestal, your 2 minutes are 30 seconds past, sir. I'm so sorry. No, you're very good, sir. I apologize. Again, we have questions. I'm going to reach in. I'm going to pick one out, and since you led off, Patrick, I'm going to present the first question to Benny. So, Benny, being a JP is a public service. It is an elected position. So, how have you already been volunteering or serving in your community and in District 9? In other words, as opposed to just being JP, what other things do you do in the community to volunteer to help your community?
Well, I work on I'm on the jail committee, which we oversee jail operations. That's not just me, it's a whole group of people that does that. But that's the committee that I serve on. And in the past, I've worked with solid waste management, which our waste department has done real well financially, and of course you pay the tax for that. But anyway, it was doing so well it had to dissolve. So anyway, but those two areas. So.
Very good, thank you, sir. And Patrick, same question. What do you do right now to volunteer, help your community?
Well, one of the things I'm most proud about to help the community, other than my job, I help people every day with finding the best products for them. I own an insurance company, but one of the other things that I do, and I'm a member of the El Dorado Civitans, which I'm very, very proud of, and we go out of our way to try to make things better in El Dorado, especially for those who are disabled. Special Olympics and things like that. We've always got something going, trying to make it better. And any of y'all that are interested, I would take the time to encourage y'all. Consider El Dorado Civitans. It means a lot, and we do great things. And I'm very proud to be a member of the Civitans. I also am an avid golfer, and I have supported kids in golf for some time. I've had to back out since I took the job as the agent, but for several years I was a coach with kids in golf, helping getting youngsters off the street and getting them interested in swinging a golf club and learning a new sport and something they can do to keep them active and keep them off the streets. And other than my job and that's pretty much about what I try to do. I try to give back to the community.
Very good. You hit it right on the nose. 1 minute exactly. I appreciate it. This was a running theme last night. We have, I think, a troll in purple ink. Same question as the last one. And this is going to start with you, Mr. Harrell. How will you ensure that you will continue to remain competent in the areas of the laws pertaining to your district?
Okay, I'm glad you asked that. As far as the laws, I'm not 100% versed, but I simply understand law and legal issues. I'll certainly read anything that I need to read. If an ordinance is brought to me, the first thing I'm fixing to do is read up on that ordinance, determine, is it better for the citizens, is it better for the constituents, or is it something we need to pass on? But I will certainly review any legal documents that I need to, any state law that I need to do that would supersede anything at the county or city level, and just try to sit there and make the right call for the constituents of Union County, District 9, because that's what it boils down to, folks. It's not about me. I'm a representative. Once y'all elect me to be your representative, I'm there for the constituents. Whether you're Republican, whether you're Democratic, it really doesn't matter, because after Election Day, y'all are one and the same. Y'all are constituents. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, sir. And Mr. Vestal, again, how will you ensure that you continue to remain competent in the areas of the laws that pertain to your district?
You know, not all of us are legal minds. That's why we have a legal counsel at our disposal to present any questions, because we're not attorneys and we haven't been to law school. So, you know, it's been said that a lot of brochures the state sends out to clarify a particular viewpoint on an ordinance, and we don't have to be able to give all the answers, but we have people that we can depend on and rely on, that we can have the appropriate means to get the right answer from, and we've got a real good legal counsel representative at all of our meetings to help advise us. I would say that.
Very good. Thank you very much. I have learned something right there myself. Reverend Charles was a busy man. Another question from Reverend Charles. And we're going to start with you on this one, Benny. The Union County poverty rate is currently 18.2%. What is your plan for job growth and economic development in your district?
In my district, I can't control what goes on there, but in the county, I think talking roads and development. We've been well versed to get different industry into the county, not particularly our district, but into the county. That and the foreign court has supported every new industry that we can get in, and we've had a lot of things happening, road improvements and whatnot that have helped entice people in. Even the recreation complex, we have a lot of people coming into for tourism that comes in to play ball, and then when they come in to play ball, you got not only that, but mom and dads and motels and eating establishments and also it's bringing in income into the community.
Very good, thank you, sir. And Mr. Harrell, same question. Union County poverty rate is currently 18.2%. What is your plan for job growth and economic development?
You know, Steve, that's a very serious question, and that number has to change, folks. And what can we do in Union County to improve that? It's jobs. And economic development is going to be a huge part of that. So we've got to work together. We've got to work with the Chamber of Commerce. We've got to work to show off what Union County can be. And like in District 9, Benny and I district, there's plenty of opportunity for nice businesses to come in. There's opportunity there, but we've got to let people know it. And we've got to have a town and a county that people want to come to and want to sit there and bring their families and raise their children there. And with that, the poverty level, it's education. We've got to find a way to keep the kids in school, whatever it may be. Do I have the answer for that? I do not have the answer for that, but the poverty level has got to sit there and change. With the 18% poverty level, it's got to get better, and I think it comes with jobs, because the better job you have, the longer you're going to stay in school, because you're going to aspire to sit there and be better than your parents were, and I think that's critical that we can do something. But the main thing is we have got to showcase Union County, and we've got to make it a place where people want to come and live.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay, last question. All right, good question. This is for you first, Mr. Harrell. Do you ever actually ride the roads of your district?
Every day. The roads in my district, especially out in my area, I live in Faircrest, right off 167, probably about a mile or so past R&D Grocery, which is Iron Mountain Road. If you get to the fire station, you've gone a little bit too far. But once you get back into Faircrest, those roads back there, they need work. Simple as that. As the JP, I certainly try to do everything I can. Obviously, we do have one major problem. We have a budget. And as a JP, I have to be a steward of that budget and make sure the money goes to where it needs to be. So, but do those roads need to be looked at and, prioritized? This has to be done this year. This can wait maybe another year. Absolutely. But the roads in the Faircrest community need work. I mean, as simple as that. And I'm not a member of the Justice of Peace yet, but I don't know what kind of budget there is for the roads, but that needs to be addressed. And the ones in my district many of them are poor. I'll just say that. And I'll do everything I can as a JP to sit there and assess those roads. And that's why I need you all. I need the constituents to come to me and call, and my door will be open, my phone will be open, and if the money is there, we'll certainly get the job done. But we do have a budget that we have to stay within.
Very good, thank you, sir. So for our closing remarks, Mr. Harrell, you started. I'm going to let Mr. Vestal begin closing remarks. Yes, sir, Benny. Yes, sir. Yep, 2 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, that was easy, huh?
Yeah. Thank you. All right, I've been to the conduct for District 9.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry, did I?
Yeah, I didn't get to answer the question.
That's awesome.
Okay.
No, that's my fault. That's what happens when I'm trying to skip ahead to the next district and get everything settled. So yeah, Benny, in 60 seconds, do you ever actually drive the roads of your district?
Yes, I do. And as a JP, that's one of the issues that you'll hear from your constituents about the condition of the road, the potholes and whatnot. And yes, we do have a budget for roads. Department does a great job keeping the money available to do that, and he is the guy apparently that does that. He sets the priority on roads, and we as JPs determine and keep a money supply available. But you got to realize with all the fuel costs and everything, that is skyrocketing. And you think, well, it's just a quarter-mile road, but it may cost $1 million for that quarter mile. But, you know, so, yes, we do, and Mike has a priority lined up, but we do address it to him.
Thank you, sir. And I'm so sorry. I'm over here playing my own game, apparently. Awesome. So now we'll get to closing remarks. I'm so sorry about that. And again, Mr. Vestal, you have 2 minutes for your closing remarks, sir.
Okay. I've been the incumbent for District 9 since 2006. So I've been 16 years as the incumbent, and I am with the Republican Party. And, you know, like I say, I've served on the solid waste committees. I've served on the jail committee. And I think as we've gone through this pandemic, there's a lot of things that we can have a playbook and go by. But one thing, we didn't have a playbook for COVID-19. And so we had to address things out of the blue that we weren't able to do before. And, you know, as we get into disagreements on various issues, on ordinances and all, we can disagree, but we don't have to be disrespectful to one another. And that's one of the things that I think the Quorum Court has done a great job on, that we can have our debate, but we can walk away after it's all over with, shake hands, and see you tomorrow. You know, and I think we've got to be respectful of everyone in the situation that they're in. And I think my biggest goal as a JP is I've got to be an advocate for my constituents. If they've got a problem, then I've got to get it to the right channel, whether it's on roads or issues at the jail or whatever. I am that voice that they're crying out for. So whenever my constituents call me, I just forward that message on. I'm just a middleman. So, thank you.
Very good. Thank you, sir. And Patrick, you have 2 minutes, sir.
Okay. Again, I want to thank everybody for coming out, and to really, you know, one thing we got to do, we got to make some changes. Has the current council done a great job? Absolutely. The Quorum Court has done an outstanding job, and I appreciate what they've done. But can it be done better? And the answer to that question, as far as I'm concerned, is absolutely. And that's what I'm going to try to do for you. I'm going to try to make things better, make Union County better. Again, I've said it once, I'll say it again. I want Union County to be a better place to live after I'm gone than when I'm here. And I think that should be the mantra of anybody. It has to be better. We have to leave something better behind us. And I want to sit there and encourage everyone out there who's a constituent. You know, I need your vote. I want your vote, and I want to go to work for you. And I'll do my best job possible, the best that I can do. And that's really, I mean, that's pretty much it. I don't know what else I could say. I'll do the best job I can. I don't have 16 years of experience. I do not. But I do have a desire to make this place all it can be. And I love Union County. Again, it's not just a place where I live, it's my home. And there's a big difference. And I want to encourage all of you to sit there, think about that tonight. And why are y'all here tonight? Are y'all curious about what was going on, or are you concerned? Because there's a big difference there too. And I'm concerned about the direction we're going. I'm concerned about the population that's leaving. Look at El Dorado. You realize 15, 20 years ago, we had a population of what, 24 or 25,000. Today it's 17,000. The county's probably in the same shape. Where are the people going? Why are they moving away? That's what we've got to address, and that's what we've got to find out. And we've got to make Union County, again, for the last time, I'll say it one more time, a place where people raise their families and open their businesses. And I'll ask you one more time too. I only want your support and I want your vote.
Very good, gentlemen. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time. That was Justice of the Peace, District 9, Mr. Benny Vestal, Patrick Harrell. Now, you weren't going to get away without answering all the questions, Benny. That was just me jumping the gun. So, as I mentioned earlier in the night, unfortunately, we couldn't even get a hold of some of the candidates. And this is one of those races, unfortunately, that myself and Karen and our committee did a very poor job of reaching out, and I'm just going to take responsibility for it. And so we do not have any of the candidates from District 11. So if you're here, oh, we do? Oh, I thought you said we didn't. Oh, I'm losing my mind. We're talking to Philip Hamaker and Bobby Bryan. I didn't see them, I didn't think. And we just had a hard time getting a hold of them. So again, we apologize deeply for that. That just means that we can jump straight into State Senate District 2. We have Mr. James McMenis, Ms. Beth Calloway, and we did speak to Matt Stone about an hour and a half ago. He is in Sheridan, unfortunately, is not going to be able to make it here this evening, but he does send his apologies. And so we will have 2 of the 3 candidates here this evening. Yes, sir.
There's plenty of water right there. You're welcome. Yeah, she's coming up the other side. Let me grab you. Oh, yes, sir. This one's in.
And again, for State Senate District 2, our candidates are Mr. James McMenis, nearest me, and Ms. Beth Calloway, furthest away. If you couldn't figure that out, you can come talk to me later. Ladies and gentlemen, we will begin again alphabetically. Ms. Calloway, you have 2 minutes for opening remarks.
I'm Beth Calloway, and I'm running for State Senate District 2. District 2 includes Union County, Washita County, Calhoun County, Dallas County, and part of Grant County. That is 3,600 square miles. I have lived in El Dorado a majority of my life. I have worked and I have raised my children here. I love the people, the community, and our unique lifestyle here in South Arkansas. I have a daughter who lives in Chattanooga and a son that lives in Salt Lake City, and I have a granddaughter that lives in Chattanooga. How much do you think I'd like them to live here? I'm a realtor for several years now, and currently I'm an executive broker at KO Realty in El Dorado. I want a bright future for District 2. 90% of the people are walking around life playing Monopoly. That means they're just going around the board, collecting $200 and trying to stay out of jail. We need to do better. Arkansas is known for its diamonds, but I believe that South Arkansas District 2 is a true gem of Arkansas.
Thank you very much. Mr. McMenis, you have 2 minutes for opening remarks, sir.
Okay. First of all, I want to thank y'all for hosting this forum. You know, it's very hard to get a public place where you can see the candidates and talk to them. In this case, just ask them questions through your notes. But it's important because why? Because we need an informed electorate. You know, why shouldn't just be looking at 3 names and picking one out at random. You need to decide who you want to vote for. And I want you to vote for me. Why should you vote for me? Well, I'm a veteran. That doesn't doesn't make me any better than anybody else, but it does mean that I've had a life of service. Number two, I have small town Arkansas Christian conservative values. I want to provide leadership in the Senate for my area. My roots are strong in South Arkansas. I've been living in Union County since 1969 when my dad took the pastorate at Union Baptist, except for when I was in the Army. I'm a seventh generation Arkansan because it's been around. My family's been around a long time. I'm a member of the Harmony Baptist Church where I'm a lay speaker. I was a listener at my church at Smackover. I'm a veteran in the local Roy County Post 10 and in the Smackover Lions Club. My family has a tradition of service. Daddy and Mama were teachers. Daddy was a pastor. My brother is a teacher over in Smackover. He was till he retired, and his wife both. They believe in service, and I also believe in education. I'm trained in leadership. You don't go through the Army without going to leadership courses, so I've been trained in leadership. Beth hit on an important point. We have lost so much economic viability in the South Central District 2. And we need to get some jobs down here. You know, we send people off with a promise. They get their education or they get their vocation, but guess what? They can't have a job to come back to unless they're either a lawyer, an accountant, or a doctor.
Very good, sir. Thank you. Okay, so we've got our questions in here. You're going to have 1 minute for response. And Beth, since you led off, the first question is going to be for James to answer first. Yes. James, what has the pandemic taught you about yourself?
First of all, I had the COVID, and I didn't think I'd ever get it. I tried to be very careful, but then all of a sudden, I'm going to see my grandbaby, and my son said, "You got to get tested before you can come down here." So I got tested, and lo and behold, I had it. It's taught me that things that we thought were just took for granted, we can't take for granted anymore. You know, just going to McDonald's, going in and eating in a restaurant. We couldn't do that. We had to go through the drive-thru. So, and then there are a lot of challenges that occurred because of the pandemic. Our economy tanked because of that. So it's taught me that we need to come up with a plan for what we're going to do for any future pandemics. We really need some plans. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Calloway, what has the pandemic taught you about yourself?
It has taught me to really believe in myself because I do live alone. I had to really like myself for quite some time. I believe in science. I've been vaccinated only for my own choice because I am autoimmune compromised. It has also pointed out some cracks that we have in our healthcare system, that they need better maintenance and better infrastructure. It's given a great focus on human resources that we have. We need to be ready for possible changes and challenges that come next time if we have another pandemic. And we need an immunization system that's larger and better than before. We need a way to track people and know if you've had it or haven't had it. There. And as a result of all this, we can be better prepared for the next time. If we have a pandemic, we'll be better prepared.
Very good, thank you. So, let's see what's next. Sorry, I'm getting at that age where I got to pull it out here. Okay, I think we have a running theme here. Let me read this. The handwriting is... Okay. Beth, you're going to answer this one first, please. The COVID-19 pandemic has exposed many weaknesses in Arkansas's healthcare system, particularly in rural areas. What can be done to fix the problems?
Our rural areas in Arkansas are about 44% is rural health here in Arkansas. There are large food insecurities in Arkansas that need to be taken care of. There are places in Arkansas that you can't even get a green vegetable from a store because you're shopping at the Dollar General or you're shopping at Family Dollar. There are about 3 million people in Arkansas, and we are one of the poorest states. 1 in every 6 people in Arkansas live in poverty. There are homes without indoor plumbing. There's there's houses without kitchens. Some people don't have phones. We've got to do better. There's got to be a healthy literacy. That means people need to be able to read, write, do math, be able to ask questions of the doctors, and have a better health care.
Very good, thank you. And Mr. McMenis, same question. The COVID-19 pandemic has exposed many weaknesses in Arkansas's healthcare system, particularly in rural areas. What can be done to fix the problem?
Well, in my view, the weaknesses in rural healthcare has been going on for some time. We just now, the COVID-19 exposed it for the weakness that it was. And then there's several workarounds. It's called telemedicine, where you talk to a specialist by phone, who's got your records, and that kind of thing, and I agree with that. But the big key thing is the economics. It's the economic slowdown in South Central Arkansas that adversely affects all the people. It affects the healthcare system. You can't very well have a hospital when you don't have people that can pay to go to the hospital. So, yes, it exposed a weakness. We need to strengthen that, and I think there's a state program that's looking into that now. I've heard about it, don't know any details. So I'm hopeful that this is not I'm hopeful that we have learned our lesson and that we progress with our rural health delivery system in the future.
Very good, sir. Thank you so much. Okay. Next. On which issue will you work with members of the other party right now? And that's for you, Mr. McMenis. I'm sorry. I'll start the clock over.
Well, as a candidate, you don't really have a lot of power or authority, but I would work with anybody. I've reached out to some senators from other areas already that I have contacted in the past on specific issues to let them know I was running and ask for them to, if I got elected, some of them are Democrats, some are Republicans, but anyway, the point is I've already reached out because what my goal is to work toward economic development. It doesn't matter whether you're Democrat or Republican or a Libertarian. We've got to have economic here in South Central Arkansas. We took a gut shot when Pilgrim's Pride shut down. But, every 10 jobs that are created with a new business creates X number of other jobs. The thing I remember about Walmart is you could go out there at the shift change for Pilgrim's Pride, and the parking lot was full of Louisiana cars, but they came to Walmart and shopped before they went home.
Very good, sir. Thank you. And again, Ms. Calloway, on which issue will you work with members of the other party right now?
Say it one more time, I'm sorry.
Yeah. On which issue would you work with other members or with members of the other party right now? If you're elected right now or today or...
I would work to help see that there is more equality and less racism. Everybody deserves a fair and equal chance, no matter where they come from or where they've been or what economic, area they lay in. And what I would do to help that out, to get the equal chance for everyone, is to make sure that our taxes come back to District 2 where we've paid them, because that will put money in your pocket, gas in your tank, and food on your tables.
Very good. Thank you so much. Okay. gonna I'm gonna read this one very slowly. It's just kind of a long question, but that's okay. Beth, you'll answer this one first.
Okay.
Kids who have high quality early learning experiences do better for the rest of their lives. What policies would you support to make sure all kids have access to great early learning experiences and parents have affordable child care so they can go to work or go to school? And I can read that again because I don't know that I read that properly if you need me to.
Could you read that again, please?
Yeah.
Or could you just skim it down to?
Yeah, I think the gist of the question is kids who have high quality early learning do better for the rest of their lives. So what policies would you support to make sure that all kids have access to early development learning and that it's affordable for their parents?
Got it.
And I'm sorry to whoever asked that question if I butchered it.
Since I said I have not lived here a majority of my life, I have lived in Georgia where they had a pre-K funded by the lottery. My son Will went to the pre-K funded by the lottery, and it was a lottery choosing also. There was a lot of children. I mean, Will had gone to preschool before that, but there were a lot of children. This was their first chance in any kind of learning environment, and yes, you could tell the difference. But by the end of the year, everybody was pretty much on the same plane. Some were still ahead, yes, the ones that went to pre-K. That was much better, but it was a better system. I know here that the lottery supports the college, but there is at times that we need to start before they go to school. Most children, don't even have a breakfast. Some of those children do not eat from Friday until Monday. We need to do better.
Thank you very much. Mr. McMenis, same question. Would you like me to repeat it? Okay, and I apologize again. So kids who have high quality early learning experiences do better for the rest of their lives. So what policies would you support to make sure that all kids have access to early learning experiences and that they are affordable for their parents?
I really like that question because I was in Georgia right after I retired, and I did some sub-teaching at the pre-K level. It was a magnificent program. Took the 4-year-olds, and the lottery paid for it. Here in Arkansas, we have Head Start. I'm on the Head Start board. And again, you can see the progress of the early Head Start program that feeds into our regular Head Start. And then our regular Head Start feeds into kindergarten. And we can see the progress. It can be quantified, actually. And also I'd like to point out the Arkansas Supreme Court at a footnote in the old Lakeview case about consolidation. The masters, a friend of mine was one of the masters, specifically pointed out that if you spend $1 on pre-K programs, that is $1 well spent, because those kids that don't progress and end up being in prison are going to cost you tens of thousands of dollars rather than $1 you could spend on them initially. And I thank you for that question because it's near to my heart.
It was a great question. I just apparently I need glasses. But my wife is here. She's going to tell me I told you so. Okay. Again, you guys will have 2 minutes for closing remarks. And since Beth started at the front, Mr. McMenis, it is your 2 minutes, sir, for your closing remarks.
Set my timer, so I'll try not to go over. First of all, I'd like to tell you what kind of agenda would I have. Well, first of all, you'll let the state senator to go to Little Rock and vote on bills and stuff. But that's not all the state senator should do. I believe that a state senator should be a bully pulpit, as we call it in the old days, to get economic development. I pledge to work with the Arkansas Department of Economic Development, with the Chambers of Commerce, and with the committees that are charged with those responsibilities in the Senate to try to bring some businesses down here, because we need it woefully bad. And we need to have low taxes, tax incentives, and grants to help people come and move into areas that are lacking in economic development. And I do believe in increased teacher pay, and of course I believe in universal pre-K for 4-year-olds, even though that works against me as my board member of fact, because we provide that service. Number 2, my big deal is bring economic development. I think one of the elections we had, it said it's jobs, 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 stupid. Well, it really is jobs, because we're hurting in South Central Arkansas. There's some of us that are doing okay, but on the average, we're hurting bad. I think the right to keep and bear arms is important. Why? So we can go squirrel hunting? No, that's not what the founders wanted. They wanted you to be able to defend yourself, defend your quality of life, and if a government became tyrannical, you'd be there to do that. Look at Ukraine. They've had that. Thomas Jefferson said, I believe in limits of government. He said the government which governs least governs best. He also said when you have a government that's big enough to provide your every need, it can take away your every freedom. And I'd like to say I received the endorsement of the Arkansas Right to Life earlier today, and I'm very proud of that, as I believe in the sanctity of life.
Thank you, sir, very much. Ms. Calloway, 2 minutes for closing remarks.
I know that I don't have all the answers, but I'm a great learner and I want to get it right. I like to model clarity, kindness, and hope. I like to be able to say I contributed more than I criticized. I like to thank the Fight Forward for sponsoring this event. It's important to register people to vote. District 2 has 80,000 people, and in the last presidential election, 13% voted. We've got to do better. If you vote for me in the Republican primary, it will count, and your vote will be heard. Please vote, exercise your right as a citizen of District 2. My motto as elected, I'm not here to tell you what to think. I'm here to listen to your voices. This is not about me. It's about you, your wants, your needs. Change is in the air, and our country and our state needs leadership. I'm ready to make South Arkansas be heard in a constructive way, making Southern Arkansas the vibrant place it was meant to be.
Very good. Thank you to both of our candidates. And again, Mr. Stone sends his regards. Ladies and gentlemen, Senate District 2, James McMenis and Beth Calloway. Okay, from last night and tonight, just so that everybody knows, this is being live streamed on Union County Votes. We will be sharing that with everybody. Please share it with your friends and family that maybe couldn't be here tonight. Share it with our young people, our college students, our high school seniors or juniors that may be 18 years old. It's very important that we do get folks to come out and vote. All of the candidates from the last 2 nights will be receiving not just the 4 questions that I pulled out of the bowl at random, but all of the questions that were submitted so that your voice will be heard by all of the candidates. Karen will be working on that over the next couple of days, and you all will receive that in PDF form for those candidates that are here. So lastly, I do want to just give a shout out to Mike Dumas. He's in the lobby. He was instrumental in helping us really just figure out what the format was going to look like and feel like. So thank you to him. Thank you to you all. Have a great night, and please stay safe. God bless you. Thank you.